And Torino away is Roma's first engagement. We'll look at the Real Madrid lineup. And plenty of familiar names. The real standout in terms of a player appearing for the first time in this tournament is Sergio Ramos.
Yeah, we did their first game, the first ICC game, John, this summer, and it was like a Real Madrid under-23 side. Great for the kids, but, you know, we want to see some of the bigger stars. Obviously, the season round the corner, so Ramos, the protagonist, is back in. Very strong going forward with Isco, Bale, Asensio, and Karim Benzema, who's had some game time on this trip.
And a thought from you, Craig, as well on this Roma lineup. The old warhorse, 35-year-old Daniele De Rossi anchoring things, and Edin Dzeko scored 24 goals last season up top.
Edin Dzeko's always been a player I've really liked. He had a great season against last year. Particularly, I like that goal he scored at Stamford Bridge when he took it on the volley. Absolutely fabulous. Obviously, talk about replacing De Rossi, and Zonzi was mentioned. It's been Wanyama in the papers today. Cristante coming in on loan from Atalanta, Pastore in from PSG, and the experienced two white men in Perotti and El Shaarawy. This is a good-looking Roma side, so they'll be looking to have a strong season again this year, the same as they did both domestically and in Europe last year.
Well, we got a glimpse of the two captains at the toss of the coin, Daniele De Rossi and Sergio Ramos, with 288 international caps between them. And looking around the stadium, there are an awful lot of white shirts. Real Madrid supporters certainly in a fairly overwhelming majority here. And in terms of colours, well, is this a portent of the likely result? Roma silver, Real Madrid something approximating to gold. Two assistant referees just completing their checks at either end of the pitch, now back in position. Glance at the watch from Mark Geiger. A shrill peep of his whistle, and away we go with Roma playing from the right in this first half, and looking immediately for Alex Kolarov. Edin Dzeko getting a touch. Toni Kroos having to come in and try and sort things out. Then Isco is dispossessed by Brian Cristante. So with the league season drawing nearer, do we anticipate slightly more tempo than perhaps in some of the earlier games in this competition?
I think so, and I think if that opening 30 seconds was anything to go by, then yes.
Real Madrid head home directly after the game. They fly out of Newark, New Jersey later on tonight. Straight back on an Iberia flight to Madrid to continue their build-up towards the European Super Cup, which is 8 days from now in Tallinn, Estonia. And to help their tune-up, they host AC Milan at the Bernabeu on Saturday. Roma's next engagement is the start of the real business, and that game in Turin a week on Sunday. Here's Bale. Outside of the boot. Lovely ball. Chance for Asensio. Super goal. And whilst he finished it wonderfully well, what about the setup from the gilded outside of Gareth Bale's boot?
Well, Roma, John, come out with a high press, high energy, real bit about them to the start of this game. But we talked about Bale before the game. We've done the last couple of Real Madrid ICC games, and he has been absolutely, looks as if he's got a weight off his shoulders that Ronaldo's not at the club anymore. It was an absolutely gorgeous ball by the outside of the foot, in behind Marcano. And then, listen, you've got to have somebody making the run as well. Asensio with a great run, and he is a composed young individual player. What a great goal.
Super start for Real Madrid, and it's lifted the crowd, who were pretty fervent anyway, fueled in part by the frustration of a half-hour weather delay, which put the kickoff back to 8:30 Eastern this evening. It was scheduled for 8 p.m. And thunder and lightning, fair amount of rain. It's the lightning that was the problem.
Do you know, when you think Gareth Bale, you think pace, power, strength, driving with the ball, running in behind. Yes, all of that. Super goals like we saw in the Champions League final last year. But there's another string to his ball.
And at the other end, here's Dzeko, and that looked like a hand that he used to control the ball.
Yeah, I don't know if he mistimed it a little bit or it just skipped off the surface. Not where he thought it was going.
Too much on that for Carvajal's liking. A seasoned Kolarov with this throw. Pastore. And away by Sergio Ramos. Five in the box here for Roma. Kolarov. To run a long way. Pastore with the ball, recently signed from Paris Saint-Germain. By Ramos. Kolarov. Now De Rossi, in his 18th season in Roma's colours. Interestingly, in the build-up to this game, when interviewed, he sowed a seed for a possible future destination, saying that he would always envisage finishing his playing career in the United States, in MLS. And that this might well be his final season with Roma. Pastore. Looking for Dzeko. Fielded comfortably by Keylor Navas. Region.
I was thinking about Keylor Navas there, John, thinking about how the transfer gossip would affect him, but he probably gets it every year, doesn't he?
I think so. Usually it's David De Gea, but this time it's Courtois, and it seems more likely to happen. Here's Bale. Courtois, who's not been to Chelsea training the last 2 days, has been summoned to a disciplinary meeting. Whether he ever gets to attend it is a moot point. A fee of 35 million euros being talked about. Offside against Gareth Bale.
Slightly disconcerting how easy it was to get this little ball threaded down through the channel between full-back and centre-back. Certainly the referee's assistant had to flag up quite early.
Dzeko. For Kolarov, the two former Manchester City men combining. Stefan El Shaarawy. Florenzi. Isco. Pastore with a touch for Dzeko. Real Madrid living a little dangerously there. Isco. Benzema. Toni Kroos. Dani Carvajal. Dani Ceballos. Isco. Bails off after that. And they have to play for a corner. Kroos to Isco. Asensio. Ceballos. Benzema. Asensio. And all the way back by Ramos. Karim Benzema. Dani Carvajal. Now the German Kroos. Florenzi covering. Ramos. Bale. And again, Gareth Bale. Spectators rising from their seats whenever he gets possession. Carvajal. And Kolarov trying to tidy. .22 now, Alex Kolarov, off the back of a World Cup campaign with Serbia. Nacho. Clearly tripped. It was Cristante.
Well, clearly Real Madrid have settled into this game much the better. The passing sharper, the movement's excellent as well. The rotation is superb. The only thing that's really set fair is the back four. Centre-half stay where they are, full-back stay where they are. Toni Kroos, Kinney stays where they are. Benzema stays through the middle. The rest, John, they all rotate. They've all got a freedom to go and pick up nice little positions.
Benzema. Reguilon to Kroos. Too strong from the German World Cup midfielder. World Cup winner 4 years ago. There's Eusebio Di Francesco, the start of his second season at the helm of Roma. Always a voluble presence. Nacho back to Navas, and supposedly back to Nacho, but not so. Pastore. El Shaarawy. Again Javier Pastore. De Rossi looking for Kolarov this time. Helped on its way by Region. Ceballos. Carvajal. Bale on his way very early. Marcano has the problem. Bale, chance, goal. Just like that. The platform is all his this season. And he intends to shine and glitter in the spotlight.
Well, he's absolutely loving this pre-season, Gareth Bale. You want a guy who can stay clear of injury. You want a guy who can produce in the big occasion. It's him. But listen, I go back to the Champions League semi-final with this Roma side, and I know there's a heck of a difference. Champions League semi-final, ICC Cup. But they on that particular occasion left so much room in behind the fullbacks for this type of run. Now, when you're playing against teams that are pacey, once Gareth Bale gets Marcano lined up 1-on-1 here, I'm thinking he hasn't got a chance, because he can take him down the outside or he can cut back inside onto his favoured left foot. It was just way too easy for him there, as it was way too easy for Liverpool at Anfield in the Champions League semi-final. OK, this is a friendly, John, but that was far too open.
Crowd now settling back into their seats. There's no question that the huge majority of those inside MetLife Stadium tonight are here to watch and support Real Madrid. On Saturday, by the way, the International Champions Cup concludes on ESPN News and ESPN Deportes with Atletico Madrid against Inter. That's at 3 Eastern, live from Madrid. The match also streaming on the ESPN app, so in fact you can watch it anywhere.
Kolarov wants to attack. We know that he's a very good attacking fullback, but he's not the quickest anymore. And if he pushes forward there, then you can bend a run in behind.
Benzema has been picked out here. No appeals from the Real Madrid striker as he went over. And this cue from De Rossi. And that will cost a corner.
Actually, Kolarov there was in a much better starting position, so he was able to get in behind, but once he pushes 10 yards further up, then that ball in behind, the fullback's not getting there.
Isco on the corner duty this time to Dani Ceballos. Here's Kroos. Carvajal. Nacho. Goal kick. So a chance tonight to enjoy Roma, and there'll be plenty more this season. ESPN delighted to announce today that for the next 3 years we will be airing exclusive live coverage of Italy's Serie A across our platforms. Many of the games will be on the streaming service ESPN Plus, with one match every weekend on linear TV. First up for live broadcast will be Roma's fixture at Torino. A week on Sunday, that'll be on ESPN News and ESPN Deportes. And then week 2, Saturday the 25th on ESPN2, a first chance to watch Cristiano Ronaldo in action as Juventus take on Lazio. This is Kroos. And now it's Carvajal. Both these sides with a win and a defeat coming into their concluding fixture in the 2018 International Champions Cup. Roma beaten heftily by Tottenham, and then in the end relatively comfortable victors over Barcelona with 3 late goals. The flag is up against Asensio.
Just love the way they're springing out from the back there. You could just see Kolarov was just slightly deeper than the 2 centre-halves, and I think he just about got away with that.
Pastore. Dzeko. Diego Perotti. Cristante. Florenzi. Dzeko was waiting for it, and fortuitously Navas gets to gather it.
I don't think you could have blamed the goalkeeper here if he had completely spilled that, bearing in mind the 2 defenders almost make a mess of it in front of him.
Free kick to Real Madrid. Without question, the gold standard when it comes to winning European trophies. Champions of that continent 4 of the last 5 seasons and 13 times in all. This is Benzema. Now it's Bale. And ultimately, it's a free kick in Roma's favour. Federico Fazio. His fellow Argentine Perotti. Kolarov. Cross was early and just beyond El Shaarawy, and it's Alessandro Florenzi letting fly, and he has scored from greater distances than that in his time. Cristante, one of a clutch of new acquisitions for Roma. They've brought in 13 players so far and released 11. Laid out 86 million euros and taken in 101 million. And by all accounts, they're not done yet. They thought that they'd signed the Bordeaux winger Malcolm, the Brazilian, only for Barcelona to snaffle him from beneath their noses, but they're on the trail of Tottenham's Victor Wanyama now. Bale. It's Pastore. Meccano to Kolarov to Perotti. And that should be and is Real Madrid's ball. Roma a distant 3rd in Serie A last season. 18 points behind the serial title winners, Juventus. And also a good distance behind second place, Napoli. They will be in the Champions League again this season, having reached the semi-final last season. Knocking out Barcelona along the way.
Ed and Dzeko gone for a press, but that was the classic. Nobody went with him.
Carvajal. Held by De Rossi. Here's Kolarov. Long and early towards El Shaarawy. And Keylor Navas out on an adventure, but the flag was up for offside anyway. Bale. Kroos. Benzema. Kroos went down after a challenge with Cristante. Sergio Ramos. Kroos. And the worse for that coming together. Carvajal. Asensio. Ramos. And offside against Bale. The International Champions Cup on ESPN is presented by Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly. And in part by Audi. Edin Dzeko. Nice ball, Kolarov. 3 up with him. Wasn't the best of first touches.
No, there was almost an argument for him just whipping that in first time, John. Nice and early, don't give the defenders time to set. We know he's good enough. Great left foot. It was the earlier bit of skill that got the crowd up. But the offside flag was up. Navas wasn't to know that. The interesting thing is, if Courtois is to come in, and it's a big if, you know, I've seen Navas already play some excellent balls out the back with his feet. You're probably going duff one here now that I've mentioned it. There you go. Can Courtois do that? That's the big question. He'll be asked to.
Well, Navas was the launching point for this attack. Baton taken up by Bale. Reguilon. And outstretched the right leg of Florenzi. De Rossi. It is a good point that you made, Craig. I mean, how much, if at all, of an upgrade is Courtois?
A necessity? No, we've talked. I almost feel that we're repeating this every ICC game, and Navas must be sick of it every year as well. But he's won Champions Leagues at this football club. He's won trophies, and listen, he's been a big part of it. And you will have to play out with the ball at your feet a lot when you're at Real Madrid. And I don't think, I know we're talking about a goalkeeper, but it's part of the game now, whether we like it or not. And I don't think Courtois is particularly strong in that department.
Kroos.
See, Roma are not too bad, John, when they're set like this. It's when they go trying to win the ball. And when Cristante and Pastore push up, when the fullbacks push up a little bit, when Real Madrid have been able to play around them, it's left De Rossi, and they play it with pace, it's left De Rossi on his own in there. 35, doesn't matter if you're 25 or 21, you can't cope with that kind of pace. So if you go to win it back, you better damn sure make sure you put enough pressure on.
This is Bale. Florenzi read his intention. Asensio was lurking. He's been beaten twice, but we've not actually had much cause to mention Roma's goalkeeper, the Swede Robin Olsen, who is another of their close season acquisitions. Played at the World Cup for Sweden. And he is the man with big boots to fill, with Alisson having gone for significant money to go and play for Liverpool. Javier Pastore and Kolarov. De Rossi.
He's a very elegant player, Pastore, isn't he?
He is. He was always a treat at PSG. 5 years there.
Real Madrid have used the diagonal to take about 5 or 6 Roma players out of the game sometimes, and it's usually to Carvajal.
Reguilon. And we're going to have a hydration break. 30 minutes on the clock, and Di Francesco's Roma trailing to goals by Asensio and Bale, and he doesn't look wildly impressed.
He's cutting a frustrated figure. This is the first one. Asensio in behind. Great timing of the run, looked level. The ball was even better from Gareth Bale, outside of the left foot. Don't come much better than this. Just you cannot place it any better than that. It's got enough pace on it, it's got a little bit of check spin on it, and then you've got a quality youngster in Asensio to finish it off. He scored some big goals for one so young in his career. And then we're talking about the full-backs pushing forward. There's that ball in behind. It caught Roma out a few times last year, leaving the centre-back one-on-one. OK, you might say, don't show him on his left foot, because that's his strong foot. You show him inside, he's going to take you on the outside, because he's just so quick, and he's so quick running with the ball. Once he comes inside, just a couple of extra touches, good night and God bless. And at the moment, Real Madrid are getting the run of this game. They are completely controlling the middle of the pitch, John.
International Champions Cup drawing towards a conclusion for 2018, the last but one of 27 matches. And the way the table looks, because there is a winner of ICC, Tottenham are top, and Inter need to win by 4 goals at Atletico Madrid on Saturday to deny them this year's ICC crown.
Tottenham going to win it.
It's looking that way.
So bearing in mind this is a club we often talk about as broadcasters, as ESPN FC, our soccer show on during the week, we talk about, what is it, they were in the semi-final of the FA Cup again last year, and they lost for the 8th straight FA Cup semi-final. So if you're stretching it a bit, you can say, well, they've won the ICC.
So now they've got that winning habit. Great. Yes, as you say, if you're stretching it a bit.
Yeah, I'm obviously very much tongue-in-cheek there, but no, Tottenham are a club who haven't really signed any players, but certainly see what happens with them this season. But the Roma coach did look a bit dejected there, and we'll put it down to pre-season a little bit, but they just ran round them in midfield.
Well, everyone having a good time here, as I'm sure they will be at the Bank of California Stadium on Saturday. And also, if you're watching on ESPN+, because we've got LAFC and Sporting Kansas City live at 10:30 Eastern on Saturday in MLS. The match is also streaming live on the app. So do start your free trial of ESPN+ now. Pastore. Dzeko. Florenzi. Sharawi. And then Asensio back to Reguilon, the young left-back who's started 2 of the 3 games in the ICC for Real Madrid. A chance for him to make an impact on a new coach in Lopetegui.
Him and Ceballos have had a lot of game time, haven't they?
They have, and Llorente as well.
Yeah.
Young midfielder who's caught your eye, I know.
I think it's hard not when you see youngsters at clubs of this ilk. They don't really catch your eye. Most of them do. It's just difficult to get game time when it comes round to the regular season. So much pressure on coaches.
And the regular season is not now far removed. El Shaarawy in towards Dzeko, just behind him. You've tuned in thinking, why are they still in the first half of a game that kicked off at 8:05 Eastern time? The answer is that we had a half-hour weather delay. The spectators who come into the main bowl of the stadium were asked to disappear indoors, sought refuge in the bars. As the storm passed. Kroos. Asensio. Region. Isco to Kroos again. Benzema, shooting opportunity. Comfortable height for the save for Robin Olsen.
They've worked these opportunities around the fringes of the box so well, John. Just a quick passing. 1-2s into Bale or Benzema. One of them plays off the other. Bale plays the ball, goes for the little 1-2 back, drags the defender away. That opens up for Benzema. Comfortable save, though.
Bale and Benzema. Close proximity, Bale's touch. Lights of MetLife Stadium, and of course of the Giants and the Jets. Ceballos. Bale. Carvajal. Benzema. Asensio. Carvajal. And Asensio, they appeal for hands. The referee says no. And Roma breathe again.
Yeah, I think Benzema would have thrown himself at that had it been a competitive game, John. I might get a chance to look at it again. There's a high. Oh, that's. We're seeing a little bit of Sergio Ramos here in action. I might be wrong, and I stand corrected. But you watch the right arm come out here. Challenge comes in. Yep. Right arm flicks back in. No need for it. Absolutely no need for that whatsoever. He's renowned for it. Right? He's made the challenge. He's won the ball.
Kolarov. And touched wide by Pastore. Defending He includes many of the dark arts, and Sergio Ramos has mastered plenty of them.
He's a bit unlucky there. Yeah, he can't help himself. He cannot help himself. It was certainly, you knew what he was doing there.
This will come for Dzeko. Ramos involved this time, and he's very quick to tell Dzeko to get up. Mark Geiger, the referee, having none of it.
Yeah, he's correct on that occasion. That was a bit, that was pathetic from Dzeko, let's be honest. Realised he wasn't getting there, fell over. Have a little look, always looks what's in slow motion. There you go. Didn't even look bad in slow motion.
Perotti.
He's on the fringes. Him and El Shaarawy have been on the fringes. I'll tell you why, because Real Madrid have been so good in possession at getting everybody narrow. Kroos, Ceballos, Asensio, Isco, Bale. And those little passes, 5-10 yards around the corner, have dragged the two wider players in. Then they hit the diagonal like that.
Carvajal. It's even Marcano. As it is again. De Rossi. El Shaarawy. Bale. Very nearly played Isco through. It could have been a foul by Cristante. Geiger now halting proceedings to check on the well-being or otherwise of Marco Asensio. Real Madrid so far in this tournament, defeated by Manchester United in Miami and then victorious 3-1 against Juventus at FedEx Field the other night. Trying to hunt down Isco. Another nibble. Dani Ceballos. Now Dani Carvajal. Bale. Kroos. Coming up on the Ally half-time report. First half stats and analysis. A look at the sights and sounds of the 2018 International Champions Cup, and we'll check in with the panel from ESPN FC. Given away by Fazio. Ceballos.
I'm really not sure what Fazio was trying to do there. He just sort of lumps this ball back into the centre of the park. Nobody comes out to close down Ceballos, and I think Olsen might have it covered there. Decent effort.
Benzema. Isco. Here's Bale. Didn't catch it. They've detected the wave in the background. It's hard to avoid.
I have to say, John, I think some of Real Madrid's play in this first half has been absolutely superb. They've been sharp, the passing has been incisive, it's been quick. There's always 2 or 3 players within an area, a distance of each other. They can play the quick passes. They've looked dangerous every time they go forward. They've hit lots of switchy plays. Been absolutely terrific.
This is Benzema, their experienced spearhead. That'll be a goal kick.
I love how the crowd have just done a wave and then they applaud it.
They've given themselves 10 out of 10 for that wave. Kolarov. Fourth official. Any constant time with the board this evening. Many of Real Madrid substitutes have been doing some very gentle limbering up behind the left-hand goal. Do we assume those are the ones that are coming on at the start of the second half? We'll see. There will no doubt be the usual flurry. 8 of them being put through their paces at the moment. Here's Dzeko. But it didn't reach him. It was largely down to Sergio Ramos. Kolarov. Roma largely outplayed. Dzeko, though. And a corner.
He's taken it right in the face here, Carvajal, unfortunately. Dzeko just tried to chest it down to get the strike away, but just had a poor bit of control, and then strike against the... Doesn't look too bad.
So a corner kick to conclude the half. And it breaks for Asensio. Isco. Now, Geiger has checked his watch and blows now at the midway point of this 2018 International Champions Cup fixture at MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Gareth Bale has been the star turn. He set up the first. He scored the second. We have plenty to discuss.
You know, sometimes I think it's not the greatest start, but it's what you do with the possession. And Real Madrid certainly were very clinical and very incisive with the ball. They had a lot of possession, as you see, 70%. And let's see if that changes come the second half.
All set to go for that second period. There have been a cluster of substitutions, particularly from AS Roma. Patrick Schick is on. Just Manolas. Lorenzo Pellegrini is slotted into midfield. Maxime Gonalon, 2. Justin Kluivert, the son of the famous Dutch striker Patrick Kluivert, is out there as well. And they've also made a change in goal, where Antonio Mirante is on to replace Robin Olsen. Javi Sanchez has come on at centre-back for Real Madrid, who are in the orange kit. He's taking the place of Sergio Ramos, in possession now. Here's Asensio. It's one of the first half goals. Region. Isco back to Javi Sanchez once again. Bale still out there. Benzema still with us. Sergio Ramos a little behind the others in terms of tuning up for the new domestic season. And come back later than most of his colleagues from the World Cup. And Spain went nowhere near as far as they'd hoped. Carvajal losing out to Kluivert. He was held back, and Mark Geiger, the American referee, is on the spot to give the free kick. And Sergio Di Francesco, full of directions, full of barked instructions, former winger with the club, which was part of the team that was the last to win the Serie A title under the guidance of Fabio Capello in 2001. Rob at pace. Asensio. Bale. Pellegrini. Dani Ceballos. Is also out there for Real Madrid. Still taking the place of Toni Kroos.
Toni Kroos, who was just a bit involved in everything in that first half. It almost all went through him. He just anchored the centre of that midfield.
It's just Manolas. International, who got that extraordinary deciding goal to knock Barcelona out of the Champions League at the quarter-final stage last season. Javi Sanchez. Carvajal. And now Florenzi. Kolarov being tugged back in stages. And out comes the first yellow card. Ceballos.
Yeah, we saw 2 or 3 yellow cards in the ICC game the other day. Who did? My memory's not great. Real Madrid and who?
Oh, Juventus.
Sorry, how can I forget? It was just a sign of old age there, John, isn't it? Can't remember. Anyway, there was some stupid yellow cards from nothing friendly, but that one was. A little bit cynical, a lot cynical.
Pastore. Still seeking the same wavelength as many of his new teammates. Ceballos. Llorente rattles it forward to Isco. Now Bale. Carvajal. Nacho. Dzeko. Seems like Dzeko with an even bigger partner out there now in the Czech Republic international, Patrick Schick. With their full squad here. Madrid -5 players who went deep into the World Cup. No Varane, no Modric, no Kovacic, who's now in dispute with the club, we learn, and refusing to train. And the two Brazilians, Casemiro and Marcelo, also missing.
And the Modric to Inter Milan story is still not going away, John.
No. But the Kovacic to Chelsea most likely, or less probably Manchester City or Milan, seems to have legs, short-term legs, likely to happen before too long.
You mentioned Shikon as a big man to help out with Edin Dzeko, but he's pretty much playing off this right-hand side, so maybe they're looking to be able to hit some big diagonals out there and get some runners to go off him.
Reguilón. Schick, Pastore. And Madrid work it out in the end. Ceballos. Nonchalant flick to Florenzi. Dzeko's clear in the middle. Manolas. Oh, this with the pass forward, it took a Real Madrid touch, it'll be a Roma throw. More substitutions. 4 in total, all being made by Real Madrid. Isco being applauded off to start with.
Yeah, he's been, well, goes without saying, he's been excellent again. The control of the football has been astounding. He's very rarely miscontrols the ball, gives it away.
So Borja Mayoral is on. Lucas Vasquez comes on. Benson able to make his way off. And we're also seeing Vinicius Junior, the teenage Brazilian who has been the breakout star of Real Madrid's summer tour of the United States. It's hardly unknown, not at 46 million euros from Flamengo, but the initial signs have been very promising. Lopetegui has lauded him for slotting in so easily. Federico Valverde, the Uruguayan, was the fourth substitute to be introduced at that point. Florenzi. Kolarov. Schick. Region. Marcos Llorente. Ceballos, Valverde. Vinicius. Ceballos. Trying to weave his way. Valverde. Carvajal. Llorente. Particularly youthful Real Madrid midfield unit now with Ceballos, Llorente and Valverde together. Lucas Vasquez. Taken by Maxime Gomeron. Now on Saturday, the International Champions Cup concludes on ESPN News and ESPN Deportes with the game between Atletico Madrid and Inter at 3 Eastern from the Wanda Metropolitano in Madrid. The match is also streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch it anywhere you may happen to be. And Inter need to win that game by 4 goals. They are the only team that can now deny Tottenham the 2018 ICC title. Florenzi.
I think Santiago Solari, John, and I think you mentioned this earlier in this ICC competition, who has done a lot of work with these kids behind the scenes at Real Madrid, will be, I think, very, very pleased with the progress and what he's seen from these younger guys in possession of the ball. I think it has been, you know, if you just watch the last 5 or 10 minutes when all these kids have come on, the quality in the passing, the quickness in the passing has been excellent.
Lucas Vasquez, Nacho, Vinicius Junior.
I'll tell you the other thing as well is Nacho tonight has not been afraid to step out from the back. He's done it all game, and here I'm looking for a couple of step overs. It's the right thing to do to take the strike on, because that's really the only option. But whenever we've seen him, he's hardly done anything other than throw a few little step overs and trying to trying to shake a defender over. He brings everything you'd expect from a Brazilian youngster. He's got the flair, he's got the excitement, and he's not afraid to put it on show.
And he's just 18. Lucas Vazquez. A turn of pace. And it back behind Mayoral. Llorente, full of eagerness. And quickly within the reach of the substitute goalkeeper, Morante.
Again, it was just too easy for Lucas Vazquez there. Shows a bit of pace, and all of a sudden he's in behind. A little cut back, telegraphed the shot a bit there, Llorente. Not his finest.
It's a cheap giveaway to Dzeko. Kluivert. Considerably shorter of stature and fleeter of foot than his father Patrick, an illustrious goal scorer. More substitutions, this time Roma's turn. So Juan Jesus for Ivan Marcano. Pastore is coming off and being replaced by the Dutchman Kevin Strootman. And Rick Karsdorp, another Dutchman, is going to replace Florenzi at right back. And Lorenzo Pellegrini will take the corner. And now Karsdorp. Roma ahead 9-6 on substitutions. It's first half goals from Asensio and Bale that have Real Madrid in a comfortable lead, and the only tally that really matters. MetLife Stadium, a frequent venue for international footballing occasions. USA against Brazil and Colombia-Argentina matches being played here next month. And of course, each and every year it's the stopping off point of the International Champions Cup. Second game to be played here this year after the Manchester City-Liverpool fixture. Karsdorp, signed from Feyenoord, didn't get much of a chance last season. Pellegrini. Spinning away off the boot of Mayoral. Roma so far beaten by Spurs, victorious over Barcelona. Very comprehensively outplayed in the first half, in particular here at MetLife. Patrick Schick. Vinicius. The initial skill rather more impressive than the pass that then followed it. Lopetegui said to be looking at Vinicius and still trying to decide whether he will be a regular part of the first team matchday squad this season. And whether possibly they look to loan him out. Llorente. Schick. Free kick is Roma's. Angry reaction by Strootman. You can tell what the balance of the support inside MetLife Stadium is from that response. Rick Karsdorp. Lorenzo Pellegrini. Mayoral. Lucas Vazquez. We'll see plenty of Roma this season on ESPN screens and platforms. After the announcement earlier today of an exclusive 3-year broadcast contract for Italy's Serie A. Many of the games you'll find on the streaming platform ESPN+, but there'll be a game on TV every weekend, and Roma are the subject of the first of those when they play at Torino a week on Sunday on ESPN News. Kolarov's ball in, corner. And if you're wondering about Cristiano Ronaldo, now settling in at Juventus, he features match week 2, Saturday the 25th of August on ESPN2. Live coverage of Juventus versus Lazio. Kolarov. Lorenzo Pellegrini had the hit. Juan Jesus. Jacob. Ceballos. Strootman adding some fairly tigerish commitment to the midfield area as more substitutions are upon us. These will be Real Madrid's last changes.
And Ceballos going off. And, another fine evening for this lad. Very accomplished in the ball. So an excellent game. Plenty of game time on this pre-season tour, so lots of experience for him.
So the Norwegian Martin Ødegaard comes on. We'll also see Sergio Lopez, who's a 19-year-old right-back, and a 23-year-old centre-half stroke defensive midfielder, Jose Leon. Region is one of those being withdrawn. Davide Santon is coming on for Roma. Kolarov has gone off. Cliver to switch to the right-hand side. Pellegrini. Dzeko was also taken off at that juncture. And the Croatian Ante Čorić is on the pitch now for Roma. So that means they've now utilised all their 11 permitted substitutions. You're watching the International Champions Cup, which is presented by Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly.
It gets to a stage where, you know, and it's understandable, I suppose, you know, but it does get it's a bit silly season, isn't it, with all the subs coming on, the flow of the game, all that sort of stuff. You just lose the pattern, the shape of the game. But from a coach's perspective, you understand that it's a long old season. It's Lopetegui who's in. He wants to look at younger players. He wants to make sure his experienced players are ready for the season, but they're not picking up any injuries. So it's a balancing act in there.
Hydration break time. And Nacho tests out that little knock that he's just picked up. And the score now is as it was as early as the 15th minute, by which stage Real Madrid had scored twice. Bale setting up Asensio and then whacking in the second goal himself. So 2 goals, 20 substitutions, 1 or 2 casualties along the way. And still the best part of 20 minutes to play once this drinks break is over. And has it been a game, Craig, with a sufficiently competitive edge for judgments to be made?
Well, I don't think so from a Roma perspective, if I'm going to be honest. But I think from a Real Madrid perspective, then on the ball, no surprises, the quality that they've got, and it started there. And it really started early on. And, you know, Gareth Bale, who's had let's be honest, a great pre-season. If he keeps going in an upward trend like that, he's going to be, for his sake, hopefully filling a big part of the Cristiano Ronaldo boots, as will that young fella Asensio. Might get some more game time this year. And when you've got this pace and you can play it in behind like this, then listen, why don't stick it down the channel? You could pick it apart if you're a Roma fan and say, well, defensively it's not good enough. But I tell you, new manager or not, this Real Madrid side are going to be a real interesting story again this year. And don't think they're finished in this transfer window. It's got, what, 3 weeks or so to go? They'll be back in the market for the odd big player or two. So they'll be in the mix again on all competitions.
The briefest of hydration breaks, mercifully this time. Nacho's recovered. And here's Vinicius. Myra. Lucas Vazquez. Vinicius Junior dealt with unceremoniously by Karsdorp, who's been tipped off by the referee. It's only going to be a throw, though. Valverde. Gerald Odegaard. And a neat escape route plotted by Roma. Justin Kluivert, signed this summer from Ajax. Deadly block tackled by Lorenzo Pellegrini.
I just would have liked to have seen young Kluivert get it, as we see the strike here. Just that earlier passage of play from Roma was excellent. It went from their own 18-yard line all the way up to a long ball over the top for young Kluivert, who had natural one-on-one.
It's a corner.
Be interesting to see if Roma do go down the Wanyama path. I did like the fact that they were going after Nzonzi. I think he's a very good player. I think he would have been perfect for them. It looks like that's not going to happen. Wanyama can play the De Rossi role. He can get around the pitch and break play up. He hasn't got the quality on the ball that De Rossi has.
Good heading opportunity. And it fell the way of Jose Leon. Well, this coming Sunday, amongst the many forthcoming attractions, our MLS match of the week comes to you from BMO Field in Toronto, with the home team hosting David Villa and NYCFC, who are, of course, chasing Atlanta United for top spot in the East. It's at 4 Eastern on ESPN, also on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Justin Kluivert. Vinicius. Odegaard. Juan Jesus. Talking about likely acquisition still by Real Madrid. Of course, the European club transfer market has a slightly different complexion to it this year, with the English transfer window closing 3 weeks ahead of everybody else's. So 5 p.m. UK time, the day after tomorrow, Thursday, is the cut-off point for English Premier League clubs to buy. And yet they're still vulnerable to losing players thereafter. Chorich. Pellegrini. Back from Chorich. Shit!
Golden opportunity. I think he should be doing a lot better here, really. I don't think this is a difficult header at all. Lovely play again. Whenever you can play 1-2 touch like that, that's a poor header. I think if that's Dzeko in there, on the end of that's in the back of the net. When you can play as quickly as that around people, when you get the movement, it's very difficult to defend against. And of course, you need the correct quality in from the cross, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect for the big fella.
At this stage of Roma's last game, they were trailing to Barcelona and ended up beating them, but they're only 1 behind in that rather than 2 as they are here. Official attendance confirmed as 51,528 inside MetLife Stadium this evening.
Yeah, good healthy crowd. Braved the weather for an hour or so before the game, and the clouds rolled in. We were all right. We were in here. You were munching away on all the cookies. It's quite embarrassing, really. Still, work it off when you go back.
Well, it's to be hoped so. They were very appealing. Nacho's down again. It's not the first time. And strictly according to competition rules, Lopetegui can't replace him.
No, just take him off. Just take him off. Senior player, squad player, but does fill a few roles. And he's played this game like it's been a league, you know, a full-on game.
Well, it looks like they are going to try and replace him. The competition rules clearly state that you can only make substitutions at 3 junctures during the course of a match. Well, this will be a 4th. Unless for injury. Well, not that I've looked at the competition rules. Well, I was going to say that would be a first.
I said, there's no way I'm in my hotel studying the competition rules for the ICC. Let me make that clear. However, I'm rolling off the back of you on this occasion and throwing it out there.
Okay. Well, look, I've read the rules, as one would expect. You weren't even aware of the rules' very existence.
Correct.
So I'm telling you this is against the competition rules. Not that anyone's particularly bothered.
You seem so.
RDT, Raul de Tomas, who's a promising striker who was prolific at Rayo Vallecano, helped to earn them promotion with 20+ goals last season. He was on loan there. Here's Schick again. Cover provided by Llorente. Schick. And Strootman. And maybe there is something tangible in this game for Roma still. 7 minutes plus stoppage time still to elapse.
All alone at the back post. Not difficult, just keep it down. Get the laces behind it. And get your side back in the game. And what's wrong with a good old long throw into the box? Not defended particularly well, it has to be said. But he positions himself at the back. Nobody's picking him up. Thank you very much.
Vinicius. And Raul de Tomas. So Kevin Strootman giving a different complexion to the scoreline. And capitalising on a central defence of Real Madrid that includes a midfielder, Marcos Llorente, and a reserve team player in Javi Sanchez. Rookie fullbacks either side. Kluivert. Valverde. Lucas Vázquez. As if this has woken Real Madrid up. Vinicius. That's a goal kick.
I mean, again, there he's quite prepared to go inside, and he's always looking for that little trick. Try to suck the defender in and drop the shoulder.
Kluivert. Pellegrini. Once again, Justin Kluivert. Strootman. Well, the goalkeeper not called into action there, but it is time for us, Craig, to take a look at Own the Save, the tracker brought to you by Ally.
Yeah, and Roma have been slightly busier in that department, with Real Madrid's dominance certainly early on. And it seems Roma have been awoken at the end here by that infringement of ICC rules in that substitution.
I think that's riled them, there's no question, Craig.
Absolutely stoked the fire. Taking a note now.
Lucas Vazquez.
And reading up in 2019 ICC substitution rules, that's the first protocol for next year's event. Mark my words.
You almost said that with a straight face.
I love how you brought that out. This is infringing the rules.
De Tomas is waiting. He's fired across the box rather than guided in his direction. And one of the clutch of reserve strikers.
Just the angle against him, really, but well worth the run in, well worth the effort. Used his body well, actually, to shield it from the defender, who tried to get wrong side and almost paid the penalty.
Ante Coric. And for Strootman. Odegaard. Vazquez. De Tomas. Certainly got an eye for goal. Showed that last season time and again. Llorente. Jose Leon. For Madrid, straight home after tonight's game. And in the Spanish capital, lunchtime tomorrow. One more tune-up game against Milan on Saturday. In the European Super Cup in Estonia against Atletico Madrid. It's a week tomorrow. Now to an opening La Liga fixture on Sunday week against Getafe. Vazquez. Hindered by Pellegrini, free kick. Coming up next on ESPN at the conclusion of this football match, Sports Centre with John Anderson and Steve Levy. Valverde. It was Manolas. Third time these sides have met in the ICC, and Roma have won the previous two. One of them via penalty kicks. And that is the height of Roman ambition at the moment, to score a late goal to take this to the spot. They've only got 2 minutes to do it. Martin Odegaard. Vinicius Junior. It's gone along. Costas Manolas. Just flicked an arm.
Yeah, it's still got a bit scrappy, hasn't it, in the last 25-30 minutes with so many substitutions. But I think for both these teams, really interesting seasons ahead. Obviously, Roma finished third last year. Just can they punch a hole into this, you know, Juventus dominance? It's going to be difficult themselves, and obviously Napoli ran them close last year. Semi-finals of the Champions League was great for them, but they're going to have to bring some players in. And then for Real Madrid, you know, 50 goals plus a season for Ronaldo. Can they plug that hole? Are they going to go and try and bring a couple of Galacticos in? Has Lopetegui got where it takes? We're going to find out.
Kluivert. And a corner for Roma. Equaliser still possible. Navas organising those in front of him. Gonalons forward, Manolas forward, Pellegrini in there, Schick of course. Depth on the kick. And that is time. And Real Madrid finish with a victory. A handshake between Lopetegui and Di Francesco. Bale was the man that really underpinned this win, setting up the first goal and scoring the second. There was a late consolation, as it turned out, from Kevin Strootman.